Thinking about adding motion detection to your smart home? Today we're going to set up and review the EcoLink Zwave motion sensor. Stay tuned. Hi again, John Stone, the DIY smart home guy, here to talk about the role motion sensors play in the smart home. When most people think about motion detection, they think of the security aspect. While this is an important factor, we're going to explore motion detection for automation and control. In my video about the smart garage door opener, which you can find right here and in the comments below, I showed you a robot that turns on my garage light when the garage door opens. But what I didn't talk about are some of the schedules that automatically turn the garage light off. These are handy for when I forget to turn lights off manually. But even with the schedules, if I forget to turn the light off, it can remain on for several hours for no reason. This is where Zwave motion sensors like the Go Control, Linear, or EcoLink come in handy. Today we're going to look at the EcoLink motion detector, which uses passive infrared, also known as PIR. The sensor hangs on your wall and sends status updates to your smart hub. There are only two signals, and those are motion started and motion stopped. Inside the box, you'll find a motion sensor, a battery, a mounting bracket with screws and double back tape, and the instruction manual with text that needs a high power magnifying glass to read. Let's get started by connecting this thing to our smart hub. The first thing you need to do is open the sensor. If you want to spare your fingernails, use a small screwdriver to open up the clip on the top of the sensor. Once it's open, you'll see the slot for the battery. Over in the Wink app, you're going to want to select the hub. This will take you to a selection where you can add the product. Click on Add Product, then scroll down until you find Sensors. Click on the Add Sensors, and then scroll to the bottom of the list. Select Zwave Sensor. Go through all the rest of the warning screens until you get to the Connect Now. Once you see the Connect Now, this is time to put in the battery. The hub's going to search for the new sensor. It may take 10-15 seconds maybe, but at the end you'll see the success screen. And that's it, you're done. Now it's time to get the sensor set up inside the app itself. Put it in a place that will allow the sensor to see a majority of where you'll be working. If you have pets, you can use this jumper to set the sensor to ignore small or large pets. There's also a setting that will monitor for motion every 5 seconds. This is known as test mode. However, this will run your battery down faster. I'm going to use the default setting that will wait 4 minutes after detection before it looks for another event. Let's put the sensor back together and mount it in the garage. Okay, so I'm going to use the mounting bracket, and you can see that the sensor will only go onto this one way. Now this bracket has these angles on the side. That means you can put it into a corner. I'm going to hook it flat onto the wall. But you'll see that on the back there's these little insets here, and this will just slide in on there and it'll hang on the wall. So it's important to make sure that you get this right side up, because if it's upside down, the sensor's upside down. All right, so let's get this on the wall here. Okay, first screw in. I'm going to grab a level, get this leveled off. All right, time for the second screw. There you go. Second screw's in place, and then we just drop the sensor in. Now, should be good to go. Let's go back to the Wink app and get this set up. In the garage, we're going back into the Wink app, and we're going to set up a couple of robots. The first robot will be to turn the garage light on when it detects motion. So back on the robot screen in the Wink hub, new robot will be on. I like to start it off by telling me what it's going to be doing. So it's on garage motion. Right, and I put motion in there so I know when I read the robots that this is a motion robot that turns the garage light on. And something's got to happen. Motion sensors and it's already set there to detect motion, and that's showing the Z-Wave sensor. We're going to save that, and then the time is anytime, and we're going to come down to the garage light, and we're going to say turn that on, save, and then we have this done up here in the right corner, and we've saved that. So there we have the new robot for motion detected in the garage. We'll turn the light on. All right, so the first thing we're going to do here is go back to our lights list, and we'll see that garage light is on. And let's turn that garage light off. Now we'll go down and we're going to trigger that motion sensor and see if it turns that garage light on. That's what we should expect to see. Okay, so you can see the garage light up there. Let's walk out in here and we're just going to get right out in front of that sensor. And she turned on. Perfect. That's exactly what we wanted to see. So on the downside of this sensor, I tried to create a robot automatically to turn on the light. I succeeded in the effort except for one small thing. I used the feature in the Wink app to only turn on the light between sunset and sunrise, and it didn't work. In fairness, I don't know if this is the Wink app or the sensor that is having the problems. I have other sunset to sunrise robots that work just fine, so who knows, I need to play with that a little bit more. The distance detection of the sensor seems to work as expected, so no problems there. All in all, it's a useful piece of technology that is a happy addition to my smart home setup. For more reviews, tips, and DIY videos, visit azhb.com. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to click like. If you know someone that would be interested in this video, please feel free to share. Thanks again to all of you that have subscribed and are already following me over on Facebook and Twitter. I really appreciate the interest. You can follow me on Facebook or Twitter. Both are @DIY Smart Home Guy. Until next time, cheers.